Hey QED coders, this is Michael. We finally have a working game hook. Now let's update the user interface. I'm not very good with CSS, so I'll be relying upon the AI to do the heavy lifting. So let's get to the planning phase. Now returning to my plans, I see that it checked off all of the tests. I think we're done with these plans. Let me go ahead and delete them. Plans are temporary. PRDs, however. Now I want to create a plan in order to finish out this PRD, which should be focusing on the user experience. Let's go ahead and prompt that up. Which would you like? Would you like me to start implementing any of the specific phases of this plan? Or would you prefer to review it and modify first? Yes, I'm going to review. I always review. Okay, so here is the PRD completion plan. So game rules and basic UI completed, user experience and flows are in progress. Technical requirements, non-functional requirements, and success criterion testing are all pending. Let's see, so we've got the basic game rules, we've got the core UI, we've got gameplay. Now the user experience and flow, we want to define player roles, document user personas, information architecture. No, none of this is relevant. System architecture. Yeah, we're not worried about system architecture. Data models. We got the data models we want. API? No, we're not building an API. We're using Janaga. Non-functional requirements. Okay. This is complete trash. There's nothing useful in this plan. So, delete the plan. Start a brand new context. That was a bad prompt. Come back to checker drop PRD. Let's go to ask mode. Let's work up to this. Let's discuss until we are ready to make changes. What parts of the PRD remain to be implemented? Missing features from the PRD visual design requirements. Correct. Checker drop animations, yellow board. Winning line highlights. Not implemented. Oh, is it in there? Highlight the winning line when the player wins. Let's take that out of the PRD. That is scope creep, if anything. Yeah, right there. Get that out of there. Enhanced animations. We've got animate pulse, so let's animate for checker drops. I've removed the requirement to highlight the winning line. Write a plan to complete the remaining changes. Now we should have a much more focused plan. I wonder if the last time it didn't even have the PRD in context, because it just made stuff up. Here is the plan. Let us review. Just visual design and enhanced animations. That's all we're working on. Yellow board with circular holes. Enhanced checker styling to appear as 3D pieces. Good, good. Checker drop animation. Yeah, so let's bring this into context in a brand new chat and do 1.1. It claims that it got that completed. Let's see, shall we? Bring up a brand new terminal. npm run dev. What does this look like? Accept the challenge from Naru. And we have a big yellow board. Yeah. It's a yellow board. Yeah, I am going to want to remove the yellow around the outside. This yellow is good. Now, if I say B, whoop, I have spheres instead of checkers, which is kind of cute. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I might keep the spheres. But yeah, let's get rid of the yellow outer border. Remove the outer dark yellow container and keep only the inner yellow board. Let's hope that it understands what I mean by remove. Okay, so that's what we've got. It's still yellow. Okay, what are the actual changes that it made? So we've got BG yellow 300. That was a step down from 400, but let's just get rid of that. Now it's white. And in fact, we don't want the shadow. That's all we want. Doesn't need rounded corners because we can't see them. Okay, and now the columns don't line up. Let's see if I can fix that manually. Yeah, I'm not good enough with CSS to fix that myself, so... okay, so I made that change, and it brought back the yellow. Now, there was a transform rotate 1 on this thing. What was the purpose of that? Which one of these is actually straight and flat? That one is rotated. Why is it rotated? Okay. There, I think we're good. Except for the fact that the bottom row is on the top. That's easily fixable. Okay. That put them at the bottom. Right. Good. So I can play here. Boom. That drops it there. And then my opponent plays. I play again. My opponent plays. I play again. I win. Okay. So far, looking good. This looks like a game of checker drop, except for the checkers are spheres. Now let's create a brand new context and go for the difficult one. We want enhanced checker styling. Oh, update the checker styling to appear as 3D pieces. This is probably where the spheres are going to go away. I don't know, I kind of like the spheres. But let's see what it can come up with. Implement enhanced checker styling. We can see the changes as it's making them because we've got hot reload turned on. Okay, well, we have more specular highlights on our spheres. Okay, we'll keep the specular highlights on the spheres. Let's go with that. Implement checker drop animation. Let's see what we can come up with. Let's create a new challenge so that we can see this working. All right, it says it's completed. I didn't see it animate. Yeah, there's no animation going on here. Hey, you blocked me. Well, I'll take the win this way. Yeah, there was no animation going on there. Let's see if a refresh is necessary. Now, of course, that cleared all of the data because I'm not using any persistence when I'm in dev mode. So let's go back to the playground. Actually, let's even leave this playground and start a new one. Yep, still no animation. So this part might be a little bit too much for it to figure out. Let's go ahead and see what it tried to change. So we've got an animate drop in, does a translate and a scale. Interesting. I would expect just a translate if it's dropping in, but scale implies that it's trying to make it fall in from the outside. All right, and then the next file, detect new checkers and create animations. If there's a new checker, it was null, and now it has a value. All right. Then it applies the animation to the checker. Yeah, I suspect this is going for completely the wrong kind of animation. Let's see if it's just really fast. Yeah. Yeah, it's not falling from the top, it's going bloop. It's like you're putting a drop of ink into a well. Yeah, that's not worth keeping. So we will undo all, which also undoes the... No. Oh, okay, that was undo all in that one file. I really want to undo all on all of these files. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. So that part didn't work, but we have a working checker drop application. Oh, except for, of course, the AI player. Let's, that wasn't part of the plan, but let's see if we can make an update to the AI player. The use player session hook, that has a make simulated move that is using the game state board, which is a tic-tac-toe state. And then it's trying to pick a random valid position. So we want to update this, this AI to use the proper game state, and then pick one of the random available columns. So give it a very simple prompt. I might regret this. Update the simulated player logic to use check or drop rather than tic-tac-toe to determine the valid game state. So hopefully this is going to be just a simple kind of a search and replace through the file. Let's see what it comes up with. That looks correct. Let's start a brand new game and see if the player actually plays a random game of the correct game. So Snow is going to start. Okay, Snow is still playing across the bottom, but Snow should be able to figure out that it can play on top of these. Yeah, there it goes. So it's going up. Good. All right. Yeah, yep. The AI is actually playing the right game now. Let's see if we can go one step further. Let's push our luck. It did so well here. Let's let it keep that context. Now, this is almost certainly going to fail. Implement a very simple AI. If it is possible to win, make the winning move. If not, but the opponent is about to win, try to block. Otherwise, make a random move. The reason that's very likely to fail is because I put all of that into the prompt rather than actually trying to iterate and reason through a valid AI algorithm. And then what I should have done is put that algorithm into a separate markdown file and then implemented that algorithm with tests and all that stuff. But let's see if it's able to do something reasonable. Okay, so that might be all right. Let's go back home and create a new playground so that we can test out that logic, see if that's going to work. So Cacodemon is going to challenge me. I'm waiting for the opponent. It's taking a long time. I wonder if it got into an infinite loop. Cannot set properties of undefined. Boppa. So here it's actually trying to change the board position and ran into a problem. Okay, so that was going too far. That's not the best way to do some prompting. And we've learned our lesson, so roll all that back. Discard forever lost. And now we're back to a random player. Well, it looks like we still have some debugging to do on this, but I am going to call this a qualified success because we have actually been able to change the logic, to write some tests, to use AI in order to get us here. And we didn't have to change the Janaga model in order to get this because it's still a turn-based two-player game. So this was what I called easy mode, because it turns out it wasn't terribly easy. But it still was easier than changing the model and making a brand new style of game. So in the next video, we will move on to doing a more difficult game where we're actually changing the model. So return next time for Fleet Duel. I will see you then.